I'm going to start with linking it to health. My first thing is very clear that when we talk about homeopathy, it's a science which people had been disputing, that when we use homeopathy as a science, there is nothing detectable in the homeopathic medicine. When it comes to yoga, we talk about something else. And when we talk to Ayurveda and allopathy, we talk about the matter. Is there a way this theory of quantum physics, standard model of theory, or whatever Higgs-Boson theory, can we little bit give some light on the concept of homeopathy, where you have a, what you do is you take a homeopathic drug, go on diluting it, dilute it till nothing remains which is measurable, and it becomes a source of energy, and it becomes very potent energy. Anybody from the panelists or anybody from the speakers?
I think I'd just like to mention in the medical terminology, I am not a physicist, that we all should know that the reality of life is radically ambiguous, ceaselessly flowing quantum soup. That's the womb of creation. Everything is created there, whether it's a homeopathy or allopathy or Ayurveda. I'll just speak in a very simple quote, which is an expression which may give you some information, and I think whatever we learned from the learned physicists today is very enormous. Now, whether we take it etymologically, alchemically, archetypally, mythically, mystically, biologically, emotionally, psychologically, or at the level of the quantum, the original comes almost to the same. That whether it's a particle, so many particles have been mentioned, whether it's a proton or electron, I personally believe that as is the quark, so is the boson, and as is the boson, so is the proton, as is the proton, so is the neutron, as is the neutron, so is the electron, as is the proton, neutron and electron, so is the DNA. And as is the coding of the DNA by genetic material, or what Dr. Aggarwal was mentioning, coding of Vat, Pitta and Kapha, or Sattvic or Tamasic or Rajasic coding, so is the intelligence, as is the intelligence, which we call as, from the word inter or in between, legere means choice making, so is the perception, as is the perception, so is the thought, as is the thought, so is the interpretation, as is the interpretation, so is the mind, as is the mind, so is the body, as is the mind in the body, so is the health, as is the health, so is the world around us.
Thank you. Again, my question is still unanswered. My cell is still unanswered. My question is still unanswered. I'm asking a very simple thing. I want all of us to debate. Very clear thing is that in homeopathy, it works, everybody knows. I want an answer from the physics, that can physics answer what works in homeopathy? When you convert matter into non-matter, that's what we talk about. That we are nothing but non-matter is converted into a matter. And then when we convert matter into non-matter, it works. But there is no scientific proof out of it. At what level are we working?
Yes. I would like to give an actual experiment they have done. I'm not a doctor, but I'm very. I've studied a lot of this new alternative therapies. There was one doctor called Dr. Peter Fraser from UK. He had what they called is fatigue syndrome, chronic fatigue syndrome. He was also an expert in Chinese traditional medicine. So he tried to find out the cure from that perspective, and he used certain equipment to find the signal of each meridian node, which we call acupressure points, acupuncture points, and their resonance with different materials in the nature. And he came up with a full structure of the meridians and how they work depending upon the correspondence of the natural materials like pollens or whatever materials are, which are used as medicine for that particular problem. And finally he was able to create only structure of human body field based on information. That is different energy frequencies corresponding to different nodes, corresponding to different meridians, and all these things. And from that he has developed the information medicine, where he just puts information that he corresponds to different nodes that he prescribes as a treatment for different problems. And that information he has started working on that, and it's called NES system in UK. And there he has effectively shown that those problems which are not amenable to other treatments, like chronic fatigue syndrome doesn't have any allopathic medicine for it, but he has been able to control it and subdue it using that method. So he proposes that in body works at information level also. It is not just material level.
You said about meridians, from anatomic point of view, still we don't have any answer about, because see, when you talk about acupuncture and acupressure, we talk about meridians.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to say is that you have asked whether when material becomes non-material, what is left? What I'm saying is there is a correlation that it could be information, not just material.
Energized information.
Yes.
And that information is what?
That is, if you want to practically see it, then you have to talk to Dr. Peter Fraser, who has done the experiments on that and developed that model, and see how it works.
So what we are interested in knowing is what is this mode of information? What is the medium of information?
Yeah.
What is the bit of information?
What he has done is he has an equipment with which he measures some sort of information. It is a patented method, and I'm being a non-technical person in that particular field. I have read his book. From that I could correlate, and I'm presenting the information I have here. That information also is seen to be working as medicine.
Yeah, see, just now I took a gulp of this water. For all I know, it's diluted with the dinosaur's urine, because almost all the water in the world is nothing but recycled from the time the earth was formed, whatever. Okay, so perhaps it's also diluted with Hitler's urine. So when you say that diluted things will have a property, so how is it that only that when, for example, a homeopath dilutes, that have a property, and not, for example, what is flushed every day in our toilet? So I don't see, unless otherwise we can measure and work out, such kind of metaphorical reasoning I am not so comfortable, because if you look at from science point of view, this is diluted with.
You see, no, we are not, we are absolutely not, we are only trying to say is that homeopathy works. I said homeopathy works. It's an established science. We are only trying to find how it works. That's all.
I think there are two assumptions in your statement which I like to question. One, that you say that by dilution it changes from matter to energy. That is not
matter to non-matter.
No, that is not tenable. That is not tenable because that's not tenable, because matter to non-matter, the only option in physics is energy, from matter to energy, and there is an equivalence of energy and matter given by Einstein, and the dilutions which homeopaths work at 1 million, I think the hardest medicine they give is 1 m. Even that has matter. It is not that it has changed to non-matter. That is the assumption which I am questioning. But if you go to what the founder of homeopathy said, he said that when you dilute, then the medicine creates reactions in your body, and your body, I think anybody who knows the name of that person, that German, Hahnemann, he said that it's not that medicine is working like the allopathic or the other medicine as killing bacteria, virus or anything else. It is preparing the body to get ready to fight the symptoms of the ailment. That is why his materia medica is that if very small quantity of any matter, don't call it medicine, now they are all matter. If very small quantity is introduced into the body, it creates medicinal symptoms. Or,
I am
symptoms.
not discussing nanotherapy.
I question your statement that is changing to non-matter.
I'm going to come back to this question again. Why I'm asking this question is, I said, when you convert, I'm again saying, when you convert matter into non-matter, that means if you can demonstrate matter, say for example, heavy metals in Ayurvedic bhasm, if I can demonstrate even a trace of heavy metal, then it is not a bhasm. Ayurvedic bhasm means the matter is zero. That is by definition. Matter is? Zero. Zero. Bhasm means, Ayurvedic bhasm means that you convert, matter is zero. If you can measure by any technology that there is a trace of a matter, then it is not classical Ayurvedic, that material, then it is not Ayurvedic bhasm. Ayurvedic bhasm means you have converted matter into zero. I'm only trying to find out this because we say in our sciences, the science which deals with no matter is either, homeopathy has two things. One is tincture homeopathy, one is a non-tincture homeopathy. What you are talking about is a tincture homeopathy where you dilute and give. Matter is still there. I'm only trying to say is matter is converted into non-matter. That's Ayurvedic bhasm therapy and conventional homeopathy. Can we correlate it with our equation? What happens there? We say boson is measurable. Anything which has a mass cannot be conventional homeopathy. Anything which has a mass cannot be bhasm therapy of Ayurveda. It has to be beyond the mass. And that's the reason I asked, what are the particles which have no mass? Can we answer this? If we can answer, then we can help homeopaths and do a collaborative study between homeopaths and allopathic medicine. That's what
do we have an Ayurvedic person to confirm that?
I'm doing it. I'm well read in Ayurveda.
Let me complete my statement, please. That bhasm means no trace. Bhasm is largely oxide of the metals.
That's not bhasm. Ayurvedic bhasm means no trace.
It's a matter.
No, it's not a matter. Let me be very clear.
It's just the residue converted into ash.
See, if it is an oxide and an ash, then it is not Ayurvedic bhasm. Let me be very clear about it. It's not an ash. Ayurvedic bhasm is not ash. It is put बोलते हैं इसको. से put बोलने का मतलब होता है कि they burn it over 60 days, 24 hours every day till the matter finishes.
No, what
if the matter, see, by definition, see what is happening is all over the world people are blaming Ayurveda in US कि हमने इसमें metal detect कर लिया. If you have detected the metal, then it is not Ayurvedic preparation. I'm very clear about it. I'm well read in Ayurveda. When I say, let us assume that I am correct. Let us assume I am correct. Does it being explained by the physics or not? Answer is yes or no.
No,
answer is yes or no.
Finish. What probably he means is the sum.
No.
Okay.
I have a question. You see, if there is a metal which is used as a bhasm by whatever process, ultimately you say matter disappears and changes into something else. Now in chemistry at least we know that if we start with an element and we do some whatever chemical process, the chemical element will remain unless we change it by transmutation.
Okay.
Because if we take cadmium or nickel or mercury as is used in Ayurveda, as I understand, if you take a mercury salt, do anything, mercury will never disappear. It can never disappear. Okay. If you believe in science.
I'll come back to other way around. The physics says that we have a dual wave particle theory. Am I clear? I mean that's what has been taught to us.
Yes.
In medical science, we are being taught to us that I am nothing but energy. That I am a wave, I am nothing but an energy, and IT technology also talks about the wave and the matter at the same time. It depends upon who is observing, and the observer effect of physics talks about that. If I am a wave, which is converted.
No, just a minute.
I am a wave, I'm not talking about the mass effect as yet. If I am a wave which has not yet been converted into a mass, I require something to be converted into a mass. I'm talking about a mass I'm talking about a particle which has no mass. Okay? Is there a technology, is there a possibility, if I am being converted from a wave to a mass, why can't I be converted from mass to a wave? That's my only theory. Theoretical solution is,
you see,
because Plasma therapy and homeopaths claim that we convert from, as you convert from wave to a mass. See, I'm an allopathic doctor.
No, it's not the question of wave to mass. Photon behaves as a particle and as a wave, but it has no mass. It has no mass.
It has no mass, yes.
If we talk about wave created by us, yes, we also produce, when a cricket ball is thrown, it also creates a wave. But we have to look at the wavelength. But the cricket ball has a mass already. Mass can also produce wave. We shouldn't confuse between the two.
I think there are few clarifications from physics. One of the Nobel laureate, that is Erwin Schrödinger, has written a book in 1950, What is Life? He has tried to answer, as a physicist, the question which the biologist should answer. That, not that what happens after life, how is it that life is possible? This is a book which is easily available. It's published by, I have a copy in case you want it. Yes, Canto has cheaper edition of British books. What he says is that the question as to how is life possible, how is living body possible, if we say that we are created from non-living elements, how is it that the living things exist? The thermodynamics only explains part of the thing. Thermodynamics explains that left to itself, the physical world will go to disorder. That is the natural direction or the physicist direction of movement of things. Now, here is a thing which is going from disorder to order. So, the issue is not only the chemical composition, the issue is also moving from disorder to order. This is explained in his book. It's a very small book. What he says is that there are changes when you move to a situation which is irreversible. There are changes which can be explained in thermodynamics, that you move from something to which cannot be reversed. Which cannot be reversed means which cannot be naturally reversed.
Thank you.
So we should first be discussing the issue of how life is possible. Only then these kind of questions.
I think it was just a start.
It's not a popular book. It's written by a physicist.
But it is a popular book.
It is a book which physicists explains biology.
I think I'm
in popular terms.
I think I'm going to
It becomes a novel.
What I'll do is, all the panelists are sitting here, all our speakers are here. I'll ask them to speak one word as a take-home message for today, and then we can have panelists giving one take-home message from today.
Frankly speaking, I don't see a connection between Higgs-Boson, health and consciousness. Unless otherwise I want to do a very cheap joke that of course if we can start manipulating Higgs-Boson, when you stand on a scale, we can reduce our weight and feel happy. Except that I don't see a connection at all, because they are all different fields.
Simple question is that is this in what way physics? My question to every panelist is only one, and the speakers is only one. In what way physics experts and health experts work together?
I think the physics expert and health expert perhaps is more in the area of, let's say, biophysics, where a lot of interesting work are happening today. I suppose that is where I think at this point of time, if at all, there is a connection, that connections can be seen. Like how different enzymes work, how different, after all we are in some sense biochemistry, right? After all is always a problematic statement. Large extent or a new insight that we have is a biochemistry. That part I think is where there is an emerging understanding which I think has large value. Not I think in the particle physics, at least as of now. Perhaps future in another 50 years our understanding is much more deeper, we can see the connection, but I don't see any connection today.
Now, I find, as a lay person, I find the connection between health and physics through the different mechanisms like how MRI or Doppler even X-ray, ultrasonography, all these things work. There is a lot of connection between physics and health sciences. And as far as Higgs boson is concerned, I also do not find any direct link with health, but if those unanswered questions are answered, I think this can lead to some relation with consciousness. This is my.
So when we talk about yoga and meditation, whenever we talk about yoga and meditation, allopathy is silent about. We can't talk about technology. We can't talk about MRI. We can't talk about CT scan. Our thing is that can we explain something in yoga and meditation? Whatever we experience in yoga and meditation, it cannot be experienced. It cannot be explained by modern medicine. We have to go back to consciousness. When we talk about consciousness, we have to go back to non-matter. From where the origin universe, from where the universe origin. And unless we understand that, we will not be able to answer our questions in meditation, specifically in deeper meditation.
Thank you, Professor Aggarwal. Sometime when we are talking of pure science and applied science, as the question was asked and all that, again, pure science application to any field like health. Of course, Professor Ghosh talked about ultrasound and everything and all that. One doesn't know when a particular field will click. Everybody knows Boolean algebra was known well long time back, but when it clicked, all the present digital computers are all Boolean algebra. Otherwise, somebody would have said ATCJ. Why did we get into the binary? Because the gentleman Shannon knew only Boolean algebra because he has studied mathematics, and as an electrical engineer he built up this. So when particle physics will become, when neutrino could become something which homeopath, minor particle coming and doing thing, I don't know, because it's too far-fetched at the moment. Even the name, which is a God particle, after expert Amitabh Mukherjee has also said yes and no, both, because I'm not a physicist today, I'm gone to different fields and all that. But one says it is not clear, but who knows when a particular aspect of physics will become directly applicable. So most important is working together. Working as a multidisciplinary together, you never know when a flash of light comes and new idea comes. Thank you very much.
And also, physics and doctors have to work together.
Anyway.
Because in any way, anytime they get hypertension, blood pressure, they have to come to us.
So my message is very clear. I am not the boson. I am not the quarks. I am not the energy. I am not the mind. I am not the body. I am not the ego, because my self-image also changes. I am just a witness and an interpreter of the self, which is ageless, timeless, spaceless, dimensionless, omnipotent, omniscience, present everywhere, from the level of the soul and consciousness. Consciousness conceives, constructs, orchestrates, amplifies, stores, expresses, and magnifies the whole universe. We are just a local trap of the consciousness in the unified field of the consciousness.